Okay, so today we're going to be installing a FIT-M01 system on this Cobra. And since we have a two-post lift, one of the first things you want to do is get the car up in the air, and you want to support the car underneath the lower control arm than the rear. The Cobras obviously have an independent rear suspension, or an IRS. And you want the car to be thinking that it's actually sitting on its wheels, so that the body is loaded correctly before we start to weld this on. So we simply take a tall floor jack and put it up underneath the rear of each of the control arms, and then raise it up until the arms on the lift are just free to move, so that it's being supported on its suspension. And we do the same thing in the front by putting the lift arm underneath the control arm, so the front is compressed as well. So one of the first things we want to do is prepare the bottom of the car for the installation. Unfortunately, throughout the years, people seem to put their jacks along the pinch weld and have bent their pinch weld lips up to the point where it makes it difficult to install the stiffening rail. So we come down, and as you can tell on this car, somebody had put their jack here. We have to bend this back out, make it flat, so that the stiffening rail will lay as flush as we can along there prior to the welding. So we've done that. Then you want to come back, and with our kit we include brand new grade 8 hardware for the two rear seat bolts in the front seats, and that is what you tie the seat support to, that's already welded up to our subframe connector. So from the inside, you simply pop off the little plastic covers that cover up the seat bolts and take out the OEM ones, install ours, and now you've got a bolt that's long enough to have the nut and washer on the end. Right now, just for mock-up, we don't have the washer on there, but we wanted to show you that that's what needs to happen. So as with all Stifflers product, wherever it needs to be welded, we mask it prior to powder coating. So when you get the product out of the box, you simply peel the mylar strips off, and that leaves you the bare metal, and that shows where the item needs to be welded. So for the installer, there's no guessing about where to weld, how much weld to put on. So what you need to do is you come along and you see the areas where we've masked, and you push the subframe connector up to the bottom of the car. You mark those areas, and then we'll come back, we'll remove the subframe connector, we'll come back with a die grinder or sander and just take off the paint right there where we're going to weld, because we want to make sure we have proper penetration on the weld. So I want to get that paint out of the way so we have good bare metal to bare metal contact. Okay, so now we've completed the stiffening rail install, and you can see how it goes just inside the pinch weld lip here. The bare places on the stiffening rail is where the web will attach. And you can see how it gets welded. And we've pulled the push pins out of the side skirts to move the plastic skirt away, so we can get a good penetrating weld there. So now that that's installed, we're going to simply take our web brace and hold it up, and you can see how the bare spots from the masking line up just perfect with the web. And you're going to slide the boot over and put a tack weld on it. Just like that. And we'd go down and tack all 3 boots with them pushed up against the subframe connector. And then bring it down and we'll weld that 360 degrees. Okay, so we spotted the adjustable boots in place and then went back and welded them 360, as you can see. And then the part that goes up towards the bottom of the car, we took and we've already hit that with some paint, because you won't be able to paint the top of that once you get it installed. So from here, it'll just simply be push it up into place, and then we'll come along and weld it down each side of the brackets where it needs to be, paint it up, and that install will be completed. Okay, so we're done with the welding, and after that, you definitely want to come in and make sure that you put a little paint on all the welds. You don't want to have any exposed metal. So we took our touch-up rattle can paint here, covered up every place where it was welded, and now we're ready to take this baby out and hit the road.